And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Whirlwind. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player from NsHOSeo. The third one they've thrown up in this series so far, it's Tassadar. And he's trying to do what the other Protoss players have not done, and that's take down this guy here in the upper left-hand corner. Our red Protoss player from Team Liquid, it's Hero.
I have a second answer to the question you asked about how you beat Hero.
Okay.
You lose and send out a Zerg.
Ah, I like that too, actually.
Then you beat Hero. That's the other strategy that you can go for. But Tassadar does not want to lose his 100% win ratio in the IPTL. Wants to smack down Hero if any way, shape, if possible. If
he wants to keep that 100% win ratio, though, he's going to have to beat 4 members of Liquid in a row. That's pretty rough.
That is true, man.
For those of you who are just joining us, though, we are in the up and down matches for IPTL to find out who's going to be in Premier and Contender Division, because we're expanding the league next season to 10 teams in Premier, 10 teams in Contender. There are a few more teams that can actually make it out of the up and down. So these two teams are going to compete. The winner advances into Premier Division or stays in the case of Team Liquid if they would take the match. And then the loser of this would move on to the next game of up and downs against someone who also lost an up and down match. The winner of those moves into Premier. The loser, well, they had 2 chances, but unfortunately, they'll be sent down into Contender.
Jeez, man, how do you explain all that so well? I would have like stumbled over 3 or 4 of those. Everything makes sense when Kevin says it. It doesn't matter, man. You should explain how the apocalypse is going to happen, and like it would completely work some way, some form.
Well, as you all know lately, North Korea has been threatening to inflict destruction upon lots of... No, I'm joking. I
think actually here's how apocalypse happens. Have you heard about this this mess that's happening in Africa? It's some kind of what was it called? Some kind of virus that has no healing. You can't fight it with antibiotics in any way, shape, or form. It has no cure whatsoever.
Really?
Apparently it's in Africa and there's like quarantines happening. So North Korea and Africa team up to end the world.
That's horrific.
By taking a nuke and exploding that virus everywhere.
Jeez.
That's how it's going to happen.
Wow. I'm suddenly less interested in casting StarCraft and more interested in building a bunker to protect my wife and I. No one else allowed, of course. Just my wife and I.
After all the nuclear radius is done and nothing's more radiant anymore, you have to salvage that bunker.
Yes.
Keep all the resources.
Absolutely. No, well, I mean, you lose 25% of the resources, but yeah.
You live, so it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, as long as it keeps you alive. I just don't want to be like some Terrans and preemptively salvage it and then have to get back in later, because that would be silly.
You're so smart.
So I want to point out, Tassadar opened with double gas before Cybernetics core and went for 3 on gas immediately. He has a huge amount of gas available to him. Now, what is this going to be? Because when his opponent Hero actually ended up going Stargate before, he did the double gas, but it was 2 on each gas, so he built up some gas, but didn't have this giant bank sitting around. So
I really think it's going to be an aggressive play. With it being such a big map, there's no point for going defensive sentries or anything. And
it is a Stargate.
Okay, so really aggressive with Phoenix play is his plan here. I wouldn't mind seeing a second Stargate here. Having 2 Stargates would work out really well for him. Just having a number of Phoenix on the field, you really grab map control and really keep your opponent pinned down. Hero on the opposite side will be falling up into a Nexus really quickly here, so he plans to just defend. He knows it's going to take a while for Tassadar to put any aggression really onto him because it's such a big map, so he knows he can get the expansion up and just defend anything that comes his way.
Now, Tassadar didn't quite get far enough to see the Nexus that was being constructed, and that is actually very good for Hero. He is going to have to defend some of that pressure that you were talking about before, but we'll see what Tassadar does to react to this, because if Hero's able to hold off the pressure, even taking a little bit of economic damage, he's going to be in a magnificent position just because he'll have this Nexus done so much quicker. Tassadar really needs to work his way in and do critical damage pretty soon.
All right, well, Phoenix play is now on the way, and normally you want to see actually a Twilight Council, because you want to have Blink coming up to deal with Phoenix, and we see a Robo, which is going to mean it's a little bit on the hard side for a Hero to defend against this. The question is, how many Phoenixes Tassadar are going to create? Is it going to start with the initial 4, put the aggression on, and keep production up, or will it go into expansion, similar to what we saw with Hero in that last game? I would actually prefer the 6 Phoenix. Keep the aggression going and keep popping between the natural and the main, keep picking off probes, and then fall up into a really strong 4-gate, to be honest with you. Would completely throw off your opponent with this map.
All right, well, we'll see what he can do now as Tassadar starts to roll his way across the map. 2 Phoenixes ready, the third going to be in tow very soon. Chrono-boosted Phoenixes, as we mentioned before, pop out very quickly, so there's the third going to rally to his opponent's base now. What is here in terms of anti-air? The Stalker is actually out across the map. Okay, it's made its way back in, just picked off a couple of probes. But we have 2 sentries, 1 Stalker, and that is it. These Phoenixes could do some serious damage.
All right. With only 2 of them here, they become more scatting purposes available. They can pick up a probe and snipe them off. It takes too long to deal with sentries, so
yes.
For the most part, the anti-air is available for Hero for a little bit, but still some damage can be done by Tassadar, and he will take that advantage, take a couple of probes, and group up a 3rd Phoenix here as he has more on the way.
And that starts to get a little bit more problematic now for Tassadar, as 3 can pick up and deal with the sentry very quickly. For now, though, it looks like he's just going to take some damage on those Phoenixes and back out, sneaking a couple more probe kills here and there.
So always try to AMEC players, only taking about half health. Only take about half health on these Phoenixes. If you have to, take and pull it away immediately. You don't want to lose any more than that. You just want to have your shields regenerate, and that's where you can keep the constant snowballing aggression happening. Behind this, Tassadar is grabbing his natural. Got a nice little force outside of his natural as well, so no scouting could come in. And he also has the availability, if an all-in were to come from Hero, he would be able to force fill it off. Unfortunately, he didn't know that it was expansion quite yet, or he wouldn't put too much into sentries like he already did.
And here comes Tassadar once again. Already quite a few units sitting inside of the middle line here. Probes getting picked off once again. Good target fire from Hero. The first shot actually went to an unhurt Phoenix, and then the second volley and third volley immediately hit the lower health one. So he's trying his best here to deal with these, and he should certainly have a decent idea of how to hold them off. He does the strategy so much.
All right, Hero keeping 3 to 4 stalkers available in the natural and the mineral line. This is the best way to really deal with Phoenix play. Now, as the Phoenixes start to gather in numbers, of course, you want to keep that stalker number replenished. And behind this, Tassadar is going to keep up with the probe count at the natural and the main. If you actually look at the units tab, it's 30 to 37, so he hasn't done enough damage to Hero, really. He would like to kill off way more, but for the most part, Hero's doing a really good job of just making sure that he has stalkers available to trade damage if he loses probes.
And we do have a robotics facility finally coming up for Tassadar, so we'll be able to meet his opponent's immortal counts head on and stuff like that. There we go. There's the economic damage we were looking for. All the Phoenixes get away once again. Of course, when you have that many flying over, it's very difficult to target fire them out, and they deal out so much damage to light units that you can actually pick up and start instigating things like Zealots, as we just saw.
Yeah, even with the stacking, too, the stacking is really hard to focus down the Phoenix as well. They're so fast, but they stack really nicely into a little ball, similar to actually Halo, or not Halo, Brood War, where the mutas would stack up, and it was really hard to focus them down. You can do that here with Phoenixes pretty nicely. They do spread out when you get the engagement, but it's good to come in with. It's harder to focus down.
All right, well, more probes getting picked off. Let's take a look at that units tab again. Now 38 to 37 in favor of Tassadar. So he's done his job economically. Now he's got to do his job in terms of tech, which he is, even though he has the Phoenixes available to him. There's a lot of supply tied up in those. In the fight, they'll be useful in terms of picking up sentries, picking up immortals, things like that. But their use really is going to start to diminish, and he'll need to replace it with higher quality units that his opponent has going out.
Hero's falling into the right moves here. He's grabbing his Blink Stalkers already on the way, moving into the 3rd and 4th gases, moving up the tech as you were mentioning. And actually, there's a tech from Tassadar being queued up, as you mentioned, moving into a robotic space. So moving really quickly into the wonderful Colossus that you'd love to have on the field, which really prevents Hero from going type of a Phoenix Stargate play. To deal with that, he has to engage it with Immortals, which you can bring the Phoenix in and grab the Immortals. So you have to have a lot of Stalkers. It's a really weird balance.
And this actually is not a bad place to be. You're exactly right. I mean, with the Phoenixes on the field, it's going to be harder for Hero to be able to move into his own Colossi or being able to match up 1-for-1, because Phoenixes do pick away Colossi pretty quickly if left kind of unopposed. Let's see here. It looks like, oh, nice job sending one Phoenix back to pick off the Observer of his opponent. So Tassadar has done some really clever things with this. Hero's starting to position himself out on the map just a bit. Does have the stronger ground army force for now, but now Colossi are coming online, and as soon as those hit for Tassadar, he's going to be in a great spot.
Tassadar is playing so well, man. Doing such a good job of really just being all over the place and preventing Hero from doing too much. But as you mentioned, Hero now moving across the middle of the map is going to kill off this probe. Good thing Tassadar will be able to see it. He starts to retreat his Phoenix back, scouts the pylon on the way back at the same time, and nabs a probe.
Yeah.
Can Tassadar hold? It's looking into his natural. It's got a couple of Immortals and a decent amount of Zealots.
Yeah, he needs that Colossus to finish up, though, very quickly. It is being chrono boosted, so it'll be here in just a bit. Now, the question is, does Hero go right now, or does he wait for a little while? Still, a Phoenix has not gone down in this game. That's ridiculous. They are going to be used in this fight, and that does allow for the first Colossus to finish up now.
And, oh my gosh, way too much on the force fields, but we'll be able to kill off these Zealots. Stalkers are stuck behind the natural. Can blink in if he wants to, but it's really hard to blink in. Again, Zealots defending the Immortals.
And the Observer got picked off overhead, too, so now all of a sudden Hero can't maneuver with these Blink Stalkers as well as he would like. He has to get vision by just walking units up, and as soon as he does, more force fields come across and a couple more units are picked off. Tassadar is playing so well. We saw Hero play nearly flawless PvP for 2 games, and Tassadar is playing just that much better.
He's keeping the Immortal production and constantly whipping in Zealots as well. And every time he gets more weapons than the Zealots, you can't blink onto this army. It's impossible. Picking up some Stalkers at the same time. time, which really slows down the damage available for Hero. Engaging right away, Zealot's getting on the Stalkers, Immortals raining down fire at the same time, and Tassadar are just going to push across the middle of the map.
Look at this. More Stalkers falling one by one on the way out, and Tassadar is making things happen here. Hero has to be able to gather up a force as quick as he can, but his robotics is only now finishing. Now that the Phoenixes are gone, he can start to try and match Colossus production 1 for 1, but the issue is Tassadar's already been double producing robotics facility units for a while. We can see he has 2 more Colossi on the way right now. His range is already finished. So in almost every respect, he's ahead.
He certainly is, and Hero aware of it, moving into a second robo at the same time. It's going to try and keep up that production if possible. And here we go. Tassadar is just going to keep moving. He might not even get the chance to get that many units out. Hero, that is, Tassadar, well, with some nice jukes around this little pillar in the middle of the map. Hero will slow down this push.
And finally, an Observer gets picked off for Hero there. He had lost so many of them. Tassadar was doing a great job of just sniping those out one by one. But now he's got 2 more Colossi rallying to the front. He's just going to keep producing those. And as soon as he hits with 3 Colossi with range, he's going to have those all in check before his opponent really gets his forces gathered up. And those Blink Stalkers are going to lose a little bit of their effectiveness, jumping straight onto 3 Colossi and 5 Immortals.
Hero has a solid army here.
He does.
A good portion of Zealots, a nice amount of Stalkers as well, with Blink available. And he has a little weird SimCity as well, which makes it really hard for Tassadar to push up to that ramp, with the 2 gateways just being in the way. It funnels his units if Tassadar tries to be too overzealous with his aggression. So needs to poke down the gateways first, which allow the Stalkers to get some free hits in.
And he's actually pushing up pretty far here. His Zealot's getting picked off very quickly. Yes, but he does damage the warp gates pretty significantly. He's just waiting on the rest of his forces to catch up, though. And look at them reinforced. That is a magnificent force now, as he has finally gone through 1 structure, possibly going to get a second warp gate. No, actually, look at these Zealots. Can't actually effectively get to the front, and the ones that do are picked off very quickly by the splash damage from the Colossi. So Hero has not been able to use these units on this ramp all that effectively yet.
Yeah, SimCity can be really good for Hero or really bad for him, and there it was really bad. He engages once more, but all the Zealots are being melted here. The 3 Colossi now will just instantly disintegrate them so quickly. And we see Hero grabbing a few units and trying to get more out as well. And here comes the engagement fully. He gets a good splash off first, but it looks like Tassadar with the Guardian Shield is going to help him out a lot.
Ooh, and Hero goes for a very aggressive blink, getting directly on top of the Colossi. He does manage to pick one off, yes, and actually whittles down a couple of the Immortals to very low health, but you saw how many Blink Stalkers died in the process. Hero now down by 35 supply and actually falling at the moment.
And now we have Tassadar in the natural of Hero. Hero's going to lose all these probes as well if Hero doesn't come down and defend it, and he can't. He's kind of stuck on this ramp, and we have Tassadar doing a good job of putting 2 forces, one on the top right, one on the bottom left, so he has a really good concave available. Snaps the Colossus as well. Probes is hidden back in the back line of that mineral line, and we have Tassadar just moving forward. Nexus implodes immediately here, and Hero has to engage.
He has to, but if he does, he walks straight into a death trap, and that's kind of what has happened so far as the Nexus is down. And it looks like Tassadar is actually going to bring things back a little bit here for NsHOSeo. Things are looking a little bit bleak for them with the 3 wins in a row from Hero, but Tassadar finds a way to start to make this a series.
Tassadar, man, not going to allow Hero to disgruntle his 100% win ratio. Tassadar again going to wait some more reinforcements, but this game is more than over at the moment. Hero just doing his best with micro defend, and he always does this in all his games.
Oh yeah,
it's the last wire, man. He makes sure he defends to the best of his ability here. With Immortal leading the charge and actually greeting some Zealots, it will be slowed down a little bit, the actual defeat here that will be impending on Hero. But Tassadar again just grabbing more units, and Hero's getting some free shots here and there.
Yeah.
Getting better trades, but he's still just on 1 base.
Tassadar's been a little bit careless with his units here in this last engagement. Look at the great control from Hero, too, with all these Colossi. But now the units from Tassadar walk up, insta-give the Colossi that were sitting there for his opponent. Hero's down to 38 supply, and that really actually is going to be GG here in a second. But kudos to Hero for managing that last engagement pretty effectively. There's GG. NsHOSeo wins the game, and it's 3-2.
Tassadar is such a boss. Playing so well for NsHOSeo, looking really, really good overall. Who's going to have to play against next game, man?
Well, let's see. Coming up next for Team Liquid is going to be their newest player, Snoot.
Snoot coming out to represent against Tassadar. We'll see if he can hold it off, man. They need to land 2 more wins in order to make sure that they are qualified for the Premier Division for next season, so they really want to land it. Let's go ahead and pop in, man. Team Liquid versus NsHOSeo after this quick commercial break.